Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Year Million. This is a National Geographic um, 6 episode series. It's a docu-series, although it has certain narrative aspects to it. It's not just here's some facts and here's some other facts. It actually weaves in a storyline involving a family set hundreds of years in the future, maybe just 100 years in the future from now. I'm not exactly clear on that, but it's definitely the future. Uh, right off the bat, hold on a second. I don't want to get into that just yet. Year million seems like a big, moment, like a big milestone. It's a general future term, and personally though, we've reached a milestone here. We're in November. Welcome to November. That's not a big deal, but um, I realized I did a count yesterday, and as of yesterday, I've watched 300 new things on Disney Plus. Things I've never watched before. 300 out of 355. This is 356, I think. I lost track of all things. But yeah, I've out of 355 items as of yesterday, 300 of them were new to me. So that's kind of amazing. I like that. I like that I've discovered new things even amongst something that's so familiar as Disney. So thanks Disney Plus. Anyway, Year Million. Year Million is a futurist's dream or nightmare, depending on who you are. It's it's narrated. Okay, this will immediately make you think of things like Blade Runner or Tron or uh, Terminator, things like that, where artificial intelligence has become the dominant being, uh, existence on Earth or the galaxy. Uh, Again, let's just say a million years from now is something that we cannot comprehend. Uh, Even 100 years from now, it's difficult to even understand where we are. If we look at 100 years ago, those people certainly were not thinking about me recording a video about Disney Plus. Like, what? Who? And to drive the fear factor of this entire thing home, yes, there's a lot of it is hopeful, and some of it's kind of funny. But to make it even more unnerving is to have a very enthusiastic Lawrence Fishburne narrating this series. That is kind of awesome. He's Morpheus from The Matrix. That wasn't an accident when they cast him. Not one bit. Um, he's he puts a nice little um, spin on expressing these facts and ideas and discoveries and concepts that we are just scratching the surface of. This to me, watching it is thrilling. I know it's a documentary series, but I've only watched one episode so far. They're all about 48 minutes each. Uh, this, I am gonna watch every single one of these things, but I had to stop and just before I got too deep, and share this with you. Watch it. Watch this whole thing. If you think about where we are now and what we could be in the future, it is either the most glorious or terrifying thing you can imagine, and they throw it all out there. So, yeah, you got artificial intelligence. Not We have that right now, by the way. It's in the most rudimentary Wright brothers plane era of flight kind of thing. 50 years later, after the Wright brothers, we're flying gigantic jumbo jets across around the world. So to imagine where we are right now with the most basic AI and having it win chess matches against, I think it was Kasparov, uh, having it having them put into very awkward uh, robot bodies that look like a lovely young woman, and she holds a conversation, small talk with you, in a real way. It's kind of, again, baby steps at this point. To imagine what it's like 100 years from now is, it's breathtaking in every way possible, and I can't really do it enough justice to tell you all about it right here. You have to watch it to understand it. So, and what makes it more entertaining is, of course, between this right here is like the narrative story about a young couple who have a teenage daughter who dies in a car accident at the beginning of the episode, and they're given the option to bring her back immediately as a realistic android. And yes, that's all science fiction, but it may not be forever. And we talk about going down two paths of either the AI overtaking us and saying, "You're not worth keeping around. We've outgrown you. We'll destroy you now." And that's the Terminator. That's the Matrix. To a degree, the Matrix. Then we have the benevolent angle where we incorporate AI into ourselves in many ways, and not just creating it as a separate thing, but in the most basic way, becoming cyborgs in the "I'm a robot" kind of, arms and laser eyes and things like that we picture, but it's really more about internalizing technology into our bodies, even like nanobots and things like that help keep us healthy and track our health and do things like that. We already do it with devices like this, phones we carry around everywhere. It's not too far fetched. I don't know how many apps on my phone that tell me how I slept, or where I went today, or count my calories, or finding where I want to go, or how much I want to spend on something. That's that kind of stuff will be beep beep boop 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 in the early stages. Eventually, at some point, it's just going to be, hey, there's a HUD, there's a heads-up display that just appears in front of you, and you can play with it. Again, that is just science fiction writer talk and ideas. What it could be is something beyond us. I love thinking about this kind of stuff, and it's just as one of the guys in the video said. It's sad that I probably will never see it. Though I did come up with a great idea for a story. Just watching this, I'm sure somebody else has already written it, but what we get here when we're not watching the story of this family is theoretical physicists, futurists, comedian futurists, comic book writers. Charles Soule is the first face you see. He's the guy who killed Wolverine in Marvel Comics. Wolverine's back, but he killed him. I met him a couple years ago, signed my Wolverine comic, and he's a storyteller. He's a lawyer. He knows how all this stuff works when it comes to fantastical stories and how they relate to reality. But yeah, there's people, technologists, futurists, people from all different angles discussing these things, and it's kind of cool to see their feedback on this kind of stuff, the things that they're presented with, and yeah, the comedians make it funny, silly, and also go, you know what? When they start having when the robots start having their own ideas about things, it's time to just shut it down. It might be too late for that. But yeah, it's I think this is a thrilling, exciting series, and I am. Where are you? I'm adding it to my list. I am gonna watch the hell out of this thing. I cannot wait. I know I have to watch tomorrow's episode, speaking of which, once we pick it. But I'm going to pepper in more of this as we go along. I might just spend the rest of today binging it. I have no idea. We'll see what I have time for. But if you love futurist stuff and crazy reality that we can't imagine. It's just, I know. What? I didn't even press a button. 428, she says. Okay, she's ready to go. I'm babbling. I realize this. And she's sick of my crap. So, 428 is the thing. Maybe it happens when I shake it? I don't know. 428. He's pushy. I hope we get I hope there's a way I could live in that world someday. Who knows? Maybe I'll be turned into an android and I'll be able to live that life after I die. Anyway, from the future, we go to the past now. We have a movie I actually haven't seen, based on the video game, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. This is Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. All right, 428. I have not seen that, so it's good. I'm going to see a movie I haven't seen before. And it's not intrinsically Disney, so it's not Aladdin, it's Prince of Persia. But I played the game. All right. See you back here tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge with Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. See you then.